train fans, welcome back to Other Side of the Tracks. I'm Chris. I appreciate you being here today. Behind me, as you can see, we have a very large box. So we're going to go ahead, see if this item survived the trip here, and check it out. I'm really excited. Well, for a number of years, Menards has been putting out a lot of interesting train buildings in O and HO as well. And they've come out with a few different passenger stations over the years. And I have seen a number of them on layouts. And if you go to Menards, you can see what they have available at this time. And when Menards has a building, they only make a certain amount, and then it's done. So they're all limited editions. So if you see something that they have available, grab it now, because then when they sell out, that's it. If you want to try to pick something up on the secondhand market, sometimes it could be a little pricey. But this particular passenger station is very large and very detailed. So I thought, well, even though I have two passenger stations, I got the Lionel Strasburg station and I have a Woodland Scenics passenger station, that, well, maybe we could squeeze in a third one. Why not? Now, according to the seller, this belonged to her husband, and I guess sold off the items from the layout as he had passed away, unfortunately. So we'll be giving this a new home. Like the Christmas light packaging. It seems very well packaged, so hopefully it made it here without too much fuss. Take it out of the box before I start messing with that bubble wrap. Big bucks. Very big bucks. Oh, we also got some authentic Danish Kringle boxes. Interesting. The gourmet Danish pastry. Well, this came from Missouri, so maybe there's a big Danish community there. I don't know. Danish bakery. Reminds me of Danish Bakers in Philadelphia, which was just down the block from my old house in Pennsylvania. Wonderful, wonderful bakery. But I'm getting distracted. Danish Bakers? Yes. I really miss this place. I gotta go back sometime. Feels like they included a power supply, which would be very nice. Of course, all Menards buildings require a 4.5 volt power supply. Right, this is not power supply. Let's see what's in here. This is oh, okay. We got the telephone booth. Huh. Wait, something else in here? Feel something else. Oh, there we go. You got it's like some of the figures and luggage pieces. Crate and barrels. I have to take a close look to see if those popped off from somewhere, if those are originally part of the set or were added on. Oh, got stuff floating around here too. Things may have gotten a little dislodged during shipment. But I do see we have Jack, the German Shepherd. Nice nice trees on this side. Shrubs on this side. Yeah, this is a huge passenger station. Oh, another figure back here. I gotta look at a picture of this. See if all these figures came with it or some were added by the previous owner of it. Looks like we got a little bit of ballast glued on here from the old line that was running next to it on the prior layout. Alright, let's get this trash off and maybe we'll give it a quick dusting. And here we have our Menards station. I've always been a big fan of this station and saw one come up on eBay. And when I saw that this station is in Allentown as per the signage on the station, well, this was 4 days after my dad passed away, and he was born in Allentown. So I'm like, okay, it's coming home. Even though it had a minor alteration, this corner here on the right side was cut off, I guess, to fit in the layout of the last owner. But it's only just the base here. It's a minor alteration. But yeah, it's in pretty good shape. It did cut the cable connection on the bottom, the 4.5 volt connector there, but there is another port on the side. This thing is incredibly detailed. We got bay windows here. We got all the posters here on the billboard. It came with 16 figures from Menards, as well as trash cans, crates galore, and of course, over 40 LED lights to illuminate this bad boy. The prior owner did add a couple figures, like on the far left here, this gentleman adding a newspaper was added, and this worker here carrying some luggage was also added. I believe this figure was standing more over here originally, but when this corner was sliced off, he got relocated. But that's, I think, the only modifications. 2 added figures, and this corner cut off, and this guy moved slightly. So it's a very large building. Looking at the measurements here, it's about 22 inches wide. Depth, the base is 11 inches. And to the top of the building, we got about 6 inches in height. So definitely a large station, and even though I already have a couple stations, I got the basic Lionel station in the Strasbourg theme, and I have this very nicely detailed Woodland Scenics. This one is the king of them all. And plus, with the details and lighting combination, really it's unsurpassed, in my humble opinion. I do have it already plugged in for the 4.5 volt. So let me go ahead, flip the switch here on the power so we can see what it looks like with the illumination on. Very bright. Oh, and I can, of course, leave out that we have the typical Jack, the German Shepherd, over here on the platform. So this is like 2 buildings with 1 big roof. This is based kind of on some real life examples that existed. One building being the station, the other one more for luggage, boxes, freight, what have you. We got a nice tree over here on the side, and some shrubs, some grass. We got more crates. We do have 2 chimneys on the roof, and the roof has this nice shingle design as well. Looks pretty good. I love this guy playing chess here. I should say this is not original to the station. This is something that was added from the owner, but it's not actually glued down, so that could sit anywhere. In fact, This building came with a number of little pieces to add additional detail. Not sure where this guy was glued down. This one was added somewhere, but in shipment he became detached and was floating around. The rest of this stuff was wrapped up in some tissue paper. So there's some extra neat details. Alright, looking at this side, we have some additional shrubs here. And this is some kind of decoration that I guess got attached to it. Small hole drilled here. I don't think that was original. Nice simulated wood siding here. Lots of windows. No interior illumination of the building. All the LEDs here on the exterior, but still really nice looking. And on this side, we see the side of the station which would face the tracks for loading passengers. We do have some ballast here, which came from the prior layout, ballast that was on the prior owner's layout. And the prior owner had passed away, and so I guess the wife was selling off the buildings and whatnot from his layout. So now we have a new home for it, and I'm going to find a new home for it here on my layout so I can enjoy it. And we'll put it front and center, so it'll be prominently featured here. From what I've been able to ascertain, these were released by Menards in 2016. As with all but Menards buildings, they are a limited run, and they make a certain quantity, and once that quantity is sold out, it is sold out for good, and they don't remake that building. So if you see one of these available for sale and you want to add one, definitely grab it, because you won't be seeing any more coming out from Menards, at least not in this configuration. They do have currently other passenger stations available, but nothing of this size. They're much smaller. Alright, well, let's go ahead and we'll get this set on the layouts. Might have to do a little moving around of some buildings here to squeeze it in, but I think we will manage quite fine. Alright, it's now in its new home. Unfortunately, the external plug here is on this side, so from this angle it's very apparent. Eventually I'll have to hardwire it from the bottom, but I'm not prepared at this point to start drilling holes everywhere until I get my final configuration here for this layout. But yeah, very happy to have it here on the old layout. The Allentown passenger station by Menards from their Gold Line 2016 era. Great detail on it. Little Woodland Scenics passenger station I had at that location previously. Well, I just kind of shoved it way in the back over yonder there. Technically it's on a curve, but maybe it's a little overkill having 3 passenger stations right now. So I'm going to have to retire it or find a better home for it when I expand the layout a little bit bigger. I'll be adding a 4-foot here going to the left, so it'll be wall to wall. So ultimately this layout will be 8 foot by 12 foot, not including any little side extensions. But we're definitely getting a few Menards buildings on here. We got the Sudie's Toll Topple from Menards. Restaurant row here of Arby's, Starbucks, Taco Bell. We have the Lamont Lanes bowling alley. Of course, the passenger station. Jimbo's Gym. And then our industrial area in the back here. Vetter Sash and Door. And the Oak Point Nuclear Power Plant. But you know what? I still see some pine. So, we'll see if we can shoehorn a few more Menards buildings on here. Don't get me wrong, I do have a mix here of Lionel, MTH, Menards, and Woodland Scenics. Oh, and how could I forget? We have the Department 56 Yingling Tavern. And we have Limax here as well. So we do have a bit of variety. But Lionel and MTH Rail King buildings, they're pretty plain. A little sparse on the details. They look nice. And Woodland Scenics, I just have the one. Woodland Scenics are very nicely detailed. Although with this one I did have some problems. But they are very pricey, and even though they come with some illumination, it's not much. You got this like lamppost here, there's like one light here, one light there. I don't have it wired up or anything. But I definitely have to say, their lighting is underwhelming, especially for what you pay with them. And then you compare that to Menards, where it's like half the cost, still really good detail, and they go all out with the LED lighting. I mean, they are bright. Bright, 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 bright. Especially some of these newer ones, like these two here. Very bright. I mean, Menards is lighting up my whole room here. Some people, it's too much light. It's a turnoff. And I see some people even will paint some of the LED lighting to dim them. They're not as crazy, but I like the illumination. It's cool, especially in nighttime mode. Yeah, so for a nighttime scene, those Menard buildings will really stand out. Limax is doing okay over here with its lighting too, so props to Limax on that one. And here next to the Allentown passenger station from Menards, I have Dad's old 1954 736 Berkshire engine. So, remember Dad here. Front and center on the layout between the Allentown station and one of Dad's locomotives here. That's too bad you can't see this layout here and all the goodies we've been checking out here, but well, hopefully he's looking down and watching it that way. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed checking out this awesome Menards train station. If you're not one of my subscribers, please take a quick moment to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Also, like the video, and you can also support me on Patreon. I very much appreciate all of your support, and we'll look forward to seeing you all again very soon in our upcoming videos. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.